Welcome back, players and collectors, to the third episode of the Nostalgix TCG Podcast, The Void. So, if you guys are watching, you'll notice that there's a funny-looking guy on here that's not me this time. He looks kind of like me, but he's not me. I am joined as a special guest with my brother, ProDecimus, on this episode. How you doing, ProDecimus?
I'm doing good, doing good. I'm ready to go.
Awesome. You ready to talk Nostalgix?
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
So, I almost said Nostalgix. ProDecimus here is a big player and collector. Well, mostly just player. You don't really collect too much, but
Not yet. Working on
he's
it.
a player. He's a player mostly and slight collector of Nostalgix TCG. Obviously, my brother, we live close to each other. We get to play and kind of talk strategies and all that, but he's also been participating in the Nostalgix online tournament. So going to get some valuable insight from this young man right here when we get to that part. But
Not sure how valuable it's going to be when I've lost every time.
well, you say lost, but you've won matches within them. You just didn't finish first. Your
That's
arch
fair.
nemesis Minnow has beaten you every time.
I'm coming for you, Minnow. I'm going to get you one of these days.
See, that is the right attitude right there. That's the spirit, my guy. Yeah, so we're gonna actually talk about the Nostalgix tournaments towards the end of the podcast because we've got some exciting news with Harmonic Surge. We're gonna talk about some of the cards we might think are gonna be big ones for the set, play gameplay wise, and a secret rare has been somewhat partially revealed that nobody knows about and still don't know about. Well, we'll talk about that in just a minute. We're going to get into Harmonic Surge news, and I don't know if I'm pretty sure you got the notification too, Decimus, but Harmonic Surge has officially started shipping out. If you've pre-ordered before the 30th,
Yes, sir.
which today is the day of recording, is the 30th, then you likely got your shipping notification for boxes as well. And in typical fashion, Zabo has mentioned that if you got a case or if you got 6 booster boxes or more, you're going to get a full case for them. So
That's me.
I personally ordered a case. I don't know how many you ordered.
I also ordered a case. I got 6
Awesome.
boxes
So we
on the
got
way.
6 boxes each coming our way. So lots of content, lots of gameplay, lots of cracking packs going to be had. Very excited for it. I'm really hoping they arrive by Friday at the latest, though, because we actually have a wedding. Both of us are going to be going to in Indiana this
I
weekend.
know. Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know, man. If they arrive Saturday as we're leaving, I might just grab one of those boxes and bring it with me. Crack some packs
Absolutely.
during
We'll bring a
ceremony or
box.
something.
I'll absolutely bring a box with me and just crack it at the hotel or whatever.
Yeah, well,
Bring a bag
it's
with
not
me.
it's not a very far drive for us. It's only a couple hours, so I don't know that we're gonna actually stay there overnight. But if we do, that's the in case thing. Like I'm gonna bring a box just in case we do stay at a hotel, because I can't not rip a box, on the inaugural night of Harmonic Surge. So we're gonna be
Of course.
go through that. Actually, Grumpy Charizard has said that he wants to do like an opening, a live booster box opening as well. So maybe we'll throw you on there, ProDecimus, and we'll have like a 3-way ultra mega booster box opening battle.
Pack battles, but we don't battle. We just flex.
Pack battles, but we squeal with joy. With
Flex
every pack.
battles.
Yeah, first person to pull the secret rare wins. Yeah, so we're kind of looking forward to that, but also kind of hoping and praying that it gets here before Saturday morning. But I know a lot of game stores. It would be kind of cool if GameStop
I don't
had
think
it,
GameStop
actually.
collects Nostalgix yet.
Look, that's what I'm saying, though. It'd be really cool if GameStop had it.
It would be, yes.
I mean, Target is a potential target.
But we don't have a Target either.
And it's like a half hour away, and I would absolutely make that drive for some Nostalgix goodies. But
for those of you that do have a Target, keep an ear out for that. Ear and eyes.
Keep an ear out for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
like an
just
ear
one
of
ear.
corn.
Yeah, just
I
one
mean, we
ear
are in the
though.
Midwest, but yeah, one ear, not two. Um, no, but game stores have actually already gotten a lot of their product. And what I was gonna say is I'm actually curious to go into our own game shop, Our House Games, on Thursday to see if they have it potentially. See if I can't
Hmm.
maybe bargain with them a little bit to give me a pack or two early. See, we'll see.
I don't think they
Um,
will.
Probably not. They're actually like very strict on street date
Yeah,
stuff, which I
they
like.
are.
Don't get me wrong. Like
It's good. It's
I'm
good.
happy about that because they're not. There's some scummy game stores out
Man,
there that
they'll do
will
it
sell
down
it as soon
to
as.
the minute.
Oh yeah, well I
They'll
mean
hold
like they
them
don't open
until
till noon on Friday anyway, so it'll be like
yeah.
Friday at noon, and I'm gonna be at their doors because I took Friday off too. I really did
I
just for
didn't.
Harmonic Surge.
Well, you'll
So
have to get me some.
well, I don't know about that, buddy. I don't like sharing goodies like this.
Come on, man.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, so if you guys are into Nostalgix and you know you've got some local game shops that carry Nostalgix, be on the lookout for that on Friday because they likely already have their stuff and they're likely going to start selling it on Friday. So, and if
Hopefully.
your game store doesn't have it yet, go introduce them to it. Message Zaba on the Discord, whatever the card shop name is, and like their email address, so he can reach out to them too. The more card stores we get Nostalgix into, the better the game is going to be faster. I think Nostalgix is here for the long run anyway, but the faster we get things into game stores, the better and faster it's going to go for us. But that's my little spiel. All right, so Harmonic Surge, like I said, shipping. Really looking forward to that. But given that I've got my brother Decimus on here, and he's also a player, I'm a player as well. Kind of wanted to look at the Harmonic Surge set list again, but kind of just talk about a couple cards, potentially some bangers we think are going to be in for gameplay, and maybe like Decimus, what you're looking forward to with Harmonic Surge, some cards or maybe some deck ideas you've already gotten. If you want to share.
I have a deck in mind already.
You don't have to give us like specifics on the deck if you don't want to, but
It's
if
gonna be a
there's
surprise.
there's certain cards you're looking forward to. Listen, I've already made it known. Like Fanny Pack is one of the cards I'm most looking forward to.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Everyone's gonna use that, I think.
yeah, but it's like with Brecken, that is going to be solid. And listen, if you thought Mini Minnow was a menace now, wait until he can fanny pack some mana and then bust open his Rowlets or Rebels or
Whatever
Rosarines. Yeah, and just get
his
like
army
30
of
mana.
creatures.
So let me put this up on the screen here. We got the card list. I actually don't know where. I think Fanny Pack is near the bottom. So we'll just get to it when we get to it. If you see a card you really want to talk about, let me know. The first one I really want to talk about, though, is Scaventinel. So,
Yeah.
this is a holographic card, by the way, and it looks fantastic. I am very much looking forward to pulling this. The reason this card is so good, though, it says, while this card is in play, it may be substituted for a single copy of Gundra, Aegisect, Metemix, or Excaliger when summoning Gamatron. So essentially, if you run, let's say you run Gundra and Excaliger in a deck, and you also have Gamatron, but you're not trying to put the other pieces in there, you can run like 2 Scaventinel and hope that you pull them both because they can be substituted for those game pieces. Missing game pieces. Or you could
It's like a wild card.
Yeah, it's run the risk, play 4 of these bad boys, and just get them all 4 out on the field, and with your fanny pack, and there you go, summon Gamatron right away.
I think personally this is better than Metemix, just because it gives armor.
Everybody so far has pretty much said like Metemix is the odd man out. I think that card is going to be, utilized very little moving forward and replaced with this. Now,
Yeah.
there is a difference though. You're paying for it a little bit more because Scaventinal has a 6 mana cost where Metemix, Aegisect, Gundra, and X-Gligar are all 4 cost cards. So you are paying for it a little bit more upfront to get him out into play. And he has 7 life, which is what the others have as well. But I mean, his attack, like you said, is really good. Give a fighter of yours +4 armor. It's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, essentially, if you have him out and you keep giving the same fighter armor over and over again, it's like having multiple shields up, multiple taunt tokens or something. They have to get through those shields, the armor, before they can even touch the actual fighter's health. So
Unless
this
they
is
have
going to open
shocking.
up gameplay. Yeah. And there's actually I forgot which card it is, but there's another one that I think is like a 2 or 3 cost that gives your fighter +2 armor or something like that. So not bad. I think Thrillp is going to be another very, very handy card to have,
Mm-hmm.
given the fact that Turnip is kind of like the big fighter line for this set, because it has all the evolutions and everything you can put in here. I mean, we see a couple of them on either side of Thrillp here. Bohemip and Oleip are all evolutions of. Oh no, they're not. They're actually not evolutions of.
They are their own unique forms.
Well, oh,
Of
there's Darumip. He's one that's an evolution.
yes, he
Um,
is.
but there's a ton of evolutions for Turnup in this. Thrillup actually has a really good attack specifically just for the Turnip line, where it says if this attack targets a Turnip or evolution of Turnip, the target is destroyed. So essentially, one-shot kill for any kind of Turnip. This is the
It's
ultimate anti-Turnip card.
it's like Death Touch, but only for turnip.
Yes, and you don't have to give it any kind of tokens or anything because it already has attack.
Which you can get around this by evolving a turnip because it doesn't specify the line; it just says turnip.
No, it does. It
Oh,
says if
does
this
it?
attact targets a turnip or evolution
Oh,
of
okay. I
turnip.
did not read it all the way.
That's okay, buddy. We got you. Let me see if
It
I can make this
happens.
a little bit. Can I make this bigger? Oh, there we go. That probably would help a little bit if I made it a little bigger. So for you on the audio only side, we'll try to read off all the cards as best we can to kind of give you the idea of what we're talking about. But the visual side is getting to see it. So maybe hop over to YouTube and watch it. Toxifox, another good one. It's
I'm
definitely gonna
excited for
be,
Toxafox.
yeah, it's gonna be good with Fox decks. So Trazia is gonna have a field day with this,
Plus, it's
and
adorable.
Lady Laveau, because Lady Laveau is the creator of Boodal and Toxifox. So I think once per turn you may pay 4 mana to give a demon fighter of yours Death Touch. Oh, so I mean, I guess it technically doesn't help Toxifox too much, but if you're running like the Lilith line or a Freyeth, the new Lilith line,
Yeah.
that works out. Demon, I think there's more demon fighters, but I can't remember. But giving it Death Touch is pretty handy. Frenemy, that's going to be a good one too. Frenemy with Friend.
Frenemy's
a
gonna
good
be
combo.
fun. Yep.
So the cool thing with him is you can actually play him on your opponent's side of the field, and it does damage to him that way. So kind of cool. Unlucky Frog. Zaba did actually say something today about he can't wait to see who comes up with a Lucky Frog, Unlucky Frog combo. And I've kind of got a slight idea about how to run Unlucky Frog, Lucky Frog, and Kamikaru. You remember who Kamikaru, the promo?
Oh yeah, the
I don't think you can officially use him in tournament gameplay, but I mean for a fun like in-store casual deck, it's gonna be a good one.
yeah, he's like the holy frog or something like that.
Yeah, Frog God.
Musical frog. There you go.
Yeah.
Just
Oh
make
yeah.
a frog deck.
There's another frog you can throw in there too. Yeah. So you really could, and I think using Kamikaru goes for any frog. I don't think it specifies Lucky Frog. I might be wrong on that. I'll have to look, but I think it talks about just frogs in general. Of course, I could be thinking of Diamond Lucky Frog too. I don't remember, but Rock 'em and Roll 'em. I just love the artwork on this one. I think it
He's
looks
just
so
a happy
good.
little guy.
He's a happy little guy.
And then,
V-Mart, V-Mart's killing it with the art on that.
true.
There's Beats. There's another Turnip Evolution. Botticelli. So Zap
I'm really
can ignore.
excited. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, fighters like Botticelli have Zap as their ability, so the fighters' attacks ignore armor. So
Yeah.
you might want to have something like this in a deck to just kind of bypass armor, just in case.
I'm really excited for Magnafox.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna run it in the Fox
It's
deck
got
too?
it's got a unique ability where you can use equipment from like any fighter on the field.
Yeah, you kind of like pull it over.
Yeah. Like so like you'll pretty much like link it from your enemy's side.
Oh
It
yeah,
stays
because the
on their
equipment.
side, but
Yeah,
you
the
get to
equipment
use
stays
it.
on their field, their side of the field, but you get to use it. And then
So I
you
was like, that's pretty
could
cool.
you could destroy any number of equipment attached to this fighter, and then draw a card for each equipment destroyed in this way. And in theory, if you've got something of your opponent's attached to Magnafox, then you destroy it, you get rid of their equipment too. It's kind of cool. Dubs
Yep.
Toad.
Wub wub wub.
Berg. If you guys don't know what's happening, we are just literally reading off the card. His attack is called Berg. He has another one that's called Wubbit.
It's just a basic attack. Berg, though.
Yeah.
Oh, it binds. I didn't know. Bind to deal 3 damage to each of your opponent's fighters.
But you can't use
You
it
can't
twice
use
in a
it
row.
twice in a row. That's actually a really strong attack.
Yeah. Well, he is a 7 cost, though, too. 7
true.
cost with 10 life and 2 armor. Interesting.
I'll have to put together a frog deck for fun one of these times.
Seriously, we'll have to do
There's
an
so many
online
cards.
tournament. We need to do an online tournament where it's frogs only.
That'd be amazing.
It's going to be nasty. This is the line I'm most excited about, though. The Tomepire, Grimhold, and Gdragon line.
They look
So-
so good.
They look good, and their ability is just so good. So Tomepire, the basic form, says, once per turn you may stack a card from your void under this fighter. This fighter gains +1 health and +1 attack for each card stacked this way. And then when destroyed, send stack cards back to the void. You evolve it into Grimhold, and then Grimhold has the same ability. Once per turn you may stack a card from under your void to the fighter. And then this fighter gains +2 life, +2 attack for each card stacked this way. And you get to Good Dragon, and it's the same thing, but you gain +3 life and +3 attack. So imagine you have a Tomepire,
And it has 6 armor. Good Dragon.
Yeah, Good Dragon has
Also
6
has
armor.
6
too.
armor, so
Well, imagine you just have Tomepire, you have it out for 3 turns, and you get 3 cards stacked under it. So then it's +1. It's actually +3, +3. You evolve it into Grimhold with the 3 cards stacked underneath it. You just went from +3, +3 to +6, +6. And then you evolve it again into Gdragon. Now you're +9, +9 just after 3
Yeah.
turns. That is beautiful.
yeah, that's going to be a really strong card, but the costs are pretty high, even for Tomepire. It's a 4 cost, so
Yeah, 4, and then 6
you're definitely going
cost.
to have some low cost fighters in there to stall out the start.
Well, you know which deck it's going to go perfect with? Booster Box Dragon. Yes, I am going to make that combo, and it's going to be delicious.
All right.
Bullfrog, I feel like this is kind of like it's kind of like a better version of
Dubstoad? Or
no why can't I think what is your Pigma.
oh yeah,
So
but
it's
it can't
very
attack.
it's very low cost and it can do a high amount of damage right away, right?
Yeah, it's
But
just a
the downside
solid.
is this fighter may not attack 2 turns in a row. So it
Yeah.
kind of feels almost like Pigma, where it's like you have to gamble a little bit because you can attack right away, but then your next turn it's pretty much in that recovery phase. And then same thing with Krokoror, it's only 5 cost, but you can't attack 2 turns in a row again because it does 10
Hmm.
damage. And these both have armor on them. So they're very strong. They're like glass cannon fighters, essentially. You know? That can attack
Yeah.
twice in a row.
I feel like they're good for like finishing off opponents, you know.
I would say they're good for finishing off heroes. I don't think this is if well, it depends
So
on the scenario.
say like your opponent has like two fighters out, right? You use all of your fighters to take out one. You can use your bullfrog or whatever to take out the other one. So they can't
Yes.
attack next turn anyways. So
Right.
so
You
the
could,
cooldown doesn't
but
matter
let's
much.
say you had let's say you have Krokoror out and your opponent has 2 or 3 fighters. Let's say they have 3 fighters, okay? I'm not going to waste my one attack for 2 turns worth on one of those fighters. I'm going to just hit the hero directly for 10 and hope that I can get something else out to play or slow the other guys down.
Yeah.
Because he also has armor, so I know at least one of those fighters has to destroy his armor before they can even touch him. So I know I'm gonna use up at least 2 fighters the next turn, you know. So it really just depends on
Very
the scenario,
situational.
but I would probably use Bullfrog and Krokoror as hero attackers. But they're also frogs, by the way. So you want to go with that frog deck? There you go.
True. I'm excited for the Afrith line.
Same. See, now this is the one that's going to be really good if you pair up with Lady Laveau because they're demons.
Yes. Their
So
ability, once per turn, you may discard a card from your hand to give another fighter charge,
yeah, that's
and
busted.
then it upgrades as you evolve them.
But think of it this way: Afri is a 2 cost fighter. You throw Afri down, and or let's say you've had Afri down and it's got some armor or something, so it's protected. Next turn, you want to what could you do? You could throw out a Jelliphant. You could throw out I mean anything and give it charge right away just by discarding 1 card. Imagine you throw this in a Chrono Krios deck where
Yeah.
you extra life. Let's just say I don't know, Valkyrian. You extra life Valkyrian back because it's a stage 2 fighter. It does not get charged right away, but then you have Afri out and you discard a card from your hand, you give it charge and it can attack right away. I mean, this is going to be big. This card, people are going to be using Afri alone just for the charge mechanic, like I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Um
Well, and then if you can get it all the way up to Afrith, uh, same thing, but you give all your fighters charge.
yeah.
That's wild.
And here's the thing. Afrith is only a 6 drop. So it's not bad. Afri is a 2, Afrida is 4, and Afraith is 6. So it's not hard to do. You just have to have the cards in hand essentially. But you could with Fanny Pack or even Brecken the Miner and an extra mana token, you could evolve this whole line in one turn.
True.
And then give everything you have charge. Like that's pretty good. I'm looking forward to using a Freyth.
Well, and I was just reading her second attack, Unholy Malice. You can only use this attack if you have 6 or more cards in your hand. You discard your hand and deal 6 damage to each of up to 3 fighters your opponent controls.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it's
you
good.
can you sacrifice your hand, but you could board wipe it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a pseudo board wipe. So if you're getting behind in the game, that's definitely an option. I would say this is kind of like you're sweating a little bit because you can't get things out onto the field, or if your opponent is just controlling the flow of the game, you don't have to waste a spell on a Void Rat that could potentially be noped or something, you know? You could... Now, they could probably still use Saving Grace to keep stuff alive, but what are the chances they have 1 or 3 Saving Graces out to block it all? I mean, it's very little risk, in my opinion, for a really big reward if you can pull it off. But, again, you have to have the 6 cards in your hand, and you have to discard them all.
I think she'd go really good with, I think it's tutorial level, where you draw up to 6 each turn.
I think it's draw up to 5.
Oh, is it 5?
But I mean, that doesn't matter. It just takes 1 turn to regain it. And if you have some what's that fighter that allows you to draw a card?
Lucky Frog.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, actually, Lucky Frog, because you would be drawing up to
the Pillfish line.
I don't know if that would work in conjunction with tutorial level, though. But there's some cards even in this set that allow you to get card draw, so you could make it work.
Yeah, you could definitely make it work.
The Venomusa line, getting the Delta species treatment here, changing their typing and giving them different abilities.
I love the artwork for this line. Yeah, for the Harmonic Surge artwork, I really like the way it looks.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really good. They got really good abilities though. Shocking, which is fighters damaged by this fighter deal 2 less damage during their owner's next turn. So if you use Meduset, now the original Meduset would bind things. This just makes it to where their attacks do 2 less damage next turn. So, I mean, it could be good or bad. I would rather this. Like, I would rather my opponent have this Meduset Venomusa line than the original one, because bind is just disgusting.
It is. It's fun to use and awful to face.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Looks like we're in the heroes. Or no, we're still in fighters.
Yeah, we're still in fighters. So Hardy is the limit break. It's the one special one. It's a non-foil rare, which also gets a void rare in the end, but is really a pretty good fighter though. 4 cost, 4 life, immune to binding and last dance. If this fighter is at 1 health when it attacks, draw a card and give it +1 attack token before dealing damage. And then I don't know what that's called. Releve Rush. It does 2 damage, but give adjacent fighters +2 attack. I mean,
and that can stack up quick.
You're boosting them. Yeah, imagine having a Hardy and then something like Narwhal and then another Hardy. You attack with both Hardys.
Yeah.
So now your Narwhal has +4 attack, which already does 3, so you're hitting for 7.
Well, imagine
getting pretty nasty.
Imagine you use Hardy with Excaliger, so you're just giving everything +2 attack.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Well, plus pair this with Excaliger and Cocoon with tons of equipment.
True.
Or with other equipment plus team uniform. Oh my gosh, dude, that might be a powerful deck right there. I think we just stumbled across something.
Nobody make this.
Nobody make this deck. It's mine. No, that's actually going to be.
Dibs.
That's probably one of those decks where like it might take a minute to get set up that way, but once you get it out, you could be swinging for like 30, 40 damage a turn. It's like the Chrono Krios deck, but on more scale.
Faster.
Yeah, more cracked out.
They're like, yeah. That's what I like.
See, I haven't really looked at the Harpfly and Jazzfly line too much. Crescendo 2, if this fighter attacked this turn, give it a +2 attack token at the end of the turn. So there's another one that's like it gives itself a +2 attack token, but
there's a lot of fighters that give boosted attack in this set.
Oh, dude, look at its first attack, Inspiring Concerto. Target a different fighter you control and roll a d10. Give the fighter plus attack tokens until the end of turn equal to that result.
Oh my gosh.
So imagine having this out and doing that and rolling that in conjunction with the Takun thing we just talked about.
Man, I'm gonna have to do this deck.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, same, dude. Same. I cannot
I have so many
wait
ideas
for
now.
Friday.
I have so many ideas. I have to make a frog deck now. I have to make whatever this is gonna be.
Yeah, this is just gonna be the
my original
attack token
idea.
deck. This is the equivalent of you showing up to battle with what's that ginormous sword that Cloud has? You know which one I'm talking about?
I don't know. I know that like big two-handed swords are a lot of them are like called claymores and stuff.
Yeah. Well, imagine walking up to somebody in battle with a claymore that's like, I don't know, the size of a Boeing 747, and then swinging at them.
They swing in planes over here.
Imagine I had that Chrono Krios deck that I hit you with, but it's just one fighter. That's what this is going to be like.
Complete yeet. Get out of here.
That's when you need to have a lot of nopes and reversals.
Death touch it instantly. Get this out of my face.
Could you mad? I would be so mad. I would be so mad if I built that up just for you to death touch it or something.
You'd see a smile on my face right before I did it.
Yeah, we know that you would. But hey, look, there's another friend. There's two versions of friend now. You got the base set form, and then you got the Harmonic Surge form.
Oh, this one says you can have more than 4.
Well, the official ruling right now is you can have 10 friends in a deck.
Okay, cool.
So you could probably split,
you can still
with this friend and the other friend.
Oh, so they do more damage for each frenemy you have. What does the original friend do?
You can still stack them up, though, to get the remaining health. The original one is just stack friends together, and you get the combined health and combined attack together. So it's like the original friend says something to the effects of this attack does 2+ damage with 2 more damage for each friend stacked on top of it. So if you have 2 friends stacked together, it does 4. 3 of them does 6. That kind of thing. This one is just deal 2 more damage for each frenemy you play. So it complements. They complement each other. So if you're playing 2 or 3 frenemies, and they're all going to be on your opponent's side of the field, but then you also have your friends in play, you're doing a ton more damage. So this one can get nasty real quick too.
It can, and it's crazy because they're all 2-cost fighters, friend and frenemy.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of bonkers.
Lots of good fighters in this set for sure.
Yeah. This is another line I'm looking forward to. Not even really for gameplay wise. I love the Toxalotl line. Toxalotl,
yes,
Chillsalotl, and Napsalotl.
Can we just talk about how cute the Toxalotl art is? His eyes are sparkling. It is amazing, and I love it.
And I love that the Chillsalotl is just like sitting there playing some kind of Nintendo Switch. Just like, don't bother me, bruh. I'm busy.
Get out of my room. I'm
And then
playing
Napsalato is
Minecraft.
like, "Oops, did I sleep again?"
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna
they're
have to
pretty cool.
use this line just because
This will be a
they're
fun
pretty
deck.
cool.
This
This
one,
would be a fun deck line, yes.
I mean, if you're running a heal deck, it looks like it would be pretty good. So, like Loud Lullaby from Napsalato does 4 damage, but restore 3 health to each of your fighters. So it's a good. It's. I'm not trying to say it's not viable in a competitive scene. Um, my my style of play, this would be like a supporter type of card,
Yeah.
but I could see making like a fun casual deck with it.
Toxalotl's his attack ability until end of turn adjacent fighters deal 1 more damage. So you
Yeah,
don't heal right away, but you boost up, which would, I mean, that would be good if you're doing that attack token deck or whatever.
yeah,
It's 1 cost. You can get it out
that's
there
true.
and boost it up by 1.
It's not bad. You got another frog, non-fungible toad. So there you go. There's like infinite possibilities with frog decks right
So
now.
many frogs. Zaba likes frogs.
Yeah, we're definitely getting that. Binerling. It's a spirit summon a 0 attack 1 health spirit fighter token. And then void 1 card from the top of the opponent's deck for each token and 1 cost fighter you control. So if you have a bunch, listen, Minnow is already dangerous with his 1 cost cards. Imagine him having these along with the Rowlets.
Well, a lot of his cards that he in the deck that he has used uh, are not actually 1 cost. I mean, like there's a few, like
Right, but
Rowlet and
this
Farron,
is like a beginning
but
stage, beginning of the game stage kind of card.
yeah, a lot of his cards are like 2 or 3 cost.
But this is kind of like the complement to it. Colossus. This fighter costs 1 less to play for each 1 cost fighter and token fighter you have in play, which Binerling is a 2 cost, so it doesn't count. But imagine you have 4 Rowlets out there. Oh, and tokens.
Yeah, it counts
So
for
imagine
tokens too.
you have 4 Rowlets, and then you have
Well,
like
for
one
just
or
any 1 cost fighter, and you have a bunch of tokens. There you go.
you wouldn't even actually you have, let's say you have one Binerling out that you're creating your spirit fighter tokens with and Nakura as your hero. So you're generating at least 2 tokens every turn, plus your 4 Rowlet, 6 off the bat. You could potentially have a Colossus for 6.
Well, yeah, if you get a stack of Fox and you get the Fox tokens out
Yeah.
every turn.
And then you play a Keepers of the Peace as well. There's 2 more. So I mean, you could potentially
What are those
you
one
could
cost?
well, it says 1 cost fighters and token fighters you have in play.
Yeah, but would the Keepers of the Peace be
Oh,
one
I see.
cost?
I see what you're saying. If it's a 1 cost fighter and
Since you paid
token fighter.
5 mana, my thought is, from what
Hmm.
I've gathered, tokens are usually the cost for like per health they have. If that makes sense.
Well,
So like Nakira, you pay 1 mana, you
I
get a
don't think so.
one
I think it's
health
any.
token.
I think it would be any token fighter because it specifies 1 cost fighter, and then I feel like if it wanted to be like 1 health token fighters, it would say 1 health token fighters.
Fair
That
enough.
might be something we have to get like further clarification on, but I think that it would be any token fighter you have in play counts. So I think
Well,
I'm reading it as you would be able to use
yeah.
the Keepers of the Peace.
Well, then you use that with the spell Double Time over there on the right.
Yeah, double all token
It
fighters
doubles
in play.
all and then it binds all tokens. But if you're just trying to get code losses out, there you go.
If you're trying to get code losses out, or what's the other one? Oh, right here, Cheer Pyramid. Combine all your token fighters into a single token fighter with combined health and attack. Give this newly created token taunt and charge. So the thing I would want to get clarification on with this is when you evolve a fighter currently as it stands, it gets rid of bind because it changed form. I feel like this would be the same thing where if you use Cheer Pyramid, since it's changing form, it gets rid of the bind. But we might need to get a little bit of clarification on it. Otherwise, that would be a good option too.
Yeah. Yeah, you double time, get code losses, and then you cheer pyramid and combine all your tokens. Now you've got 2 heavy hitters.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And then you throw down a Gamatron Slice, which is another hollow card, by the way, and it looks fantastic.
It does. Cocoon with a big O sword.
Deal damage to anything equal to half the quantity of cards in all players' voids. So this is the type
Rounded
of card
down.
that I'm actually it would benefit me for my Chrono Krios deck, and even you for your Chrono Krios deck. When you have severe weather, if you play a couple severe weather,
True.
because you're going to be doing at least 10 damage then with just severe weather, since you're
Well,
going to be doing
you'd
half.
be doing 20 damage because it's from both, right?
Well, it says deal damage to anything equal to half the quantity of
Oh,
cards.
right. Half, okay.
But severe weather, since you're both voiding out
So
10
it's
cards.
10 damage, yeah.
Yeah, it would be 10 damage because there's 20 cards technically in the void combined. So, I mean, that's a pretty heavy hitter.
Yeah, I mean,
And it doesn't say you have to do. It says deal damage to anything. So since it's a spell card, it can
you can
bypass
hit the hero,
taunts. You can just swing directly at a hero.
yeah. Yep.
That'd be ridiculous.
That's
Just to
pretty
be
crazy.
like end of game, just like Decimus here is just crushing me. He's got a full field of fighters out. My hero's down to like 3 health. He's got the win in the next turn. But we've got like 40, 50 cards each in our discard piles. And then I swing out with Gamatron Slice to his hero. Game over, buddy. That's a one-hit kill.
Yep.
I mean, that's what I'm like. That's the one thing with Harmonic Surge I am so loving about it is there's no longer like the whole you're kicking my butt. I can't get back into this game because there's so many cards introduced into the set that allow you to get back into it or to potentially steal a game away from somebody.
Yep. I am going to enjoy this. Minnow will not steamroll me anymore.
Well, he might be
He-
steamrolling you,
he
but you better
probably
pull these
will.
out.
But I'll have a better chance.
Yeah. So, but you know what though? What I think is really fun about all this though too is that decks like what Minnow has and decks like my booster box dragon deck, we have to account for cards like this now. There's no more just like getting out there and controlling the flow of the game and keeping that control of the game to win. There's cards like this that exist now that can steal that victory away from you. So you have to have counters to stuff like this. You got to have some reverses in your deck, or you got to have, well, I mean, really, it's just reverse that can counter this, or not reverse. Nope.
Nopes. Well, you want to have some reverses, so they're
or
not just like, hey, I'm gonna
or
reverse your
mixtape.
nope.
Have a mixtape where you
where's,
could steal it from them.
True.
But I'm just saying, it's some good stuff. EMP, I think, is going to be a really useful one too. Negate all of your opponent fighters' abilities during their next turn. Mechs may not evolve or attack until the start of your next turn.
So if you're facing a mech deck, there you go. Beware.
Yeah, it's the stopper.
Well, with all the turn-up evolutions coming in, that's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
But I mean, mechs have been kind of the favored fighter type already anyway, so it is what it is. There's a lot of good cards on here. Oh, there it is. There's the armor up 3-cost spell that gives your 2 of your fighters +2 armor. So there we go. Dude, okay, I didn't even realize this. I guess I completely forgot about it, but the pulling strings card here, 2-cost spell card, create a 2 health, 1 attack puppet token with taunt. So not only does this benefit Puppet Master Wrong, you play a couple of these in succession with Puppet Master Wrong out there. This helps the whole token fighter deck that we were talking about earlier. So there's another piece for that too. You're welcome, everybody listening to this podcast and building token
We're
decks.
giving you guys such good ideas. Just don't use it against us, all right?
If you use
This
it
is
against me, I will take it away from you.
banned.
Look at this. Energy drink, 2-cost spell card. Target fighter gains charge this turn, and you get to draw a card. So you don't necessarily need to have Afrith or Afri out. You can just have energy drink.
True. Yeah, if you're not running Afri, you just put that in there. There you go.
I love the flavor text on this, by the way, too. Energy drink gives you
I was
power.
just reading that, yeah. Well, there's another good card, Force Fuel. You get just gives a fighter 4 armor.
Did we pass that one already?
No, it's farther
right
down,
here.
right there. Yep.
Yeah, give a fighter +4 armor. Same cost 2/3. Same cost as well, which is 3 cost. Look at this. This is kind of like a spell in its own new form here. Like, we haven't seen a card like this before. Flip side. It's a 2-cost spell card that says choose an effect. Deal 2 damage to a fighter or restore 2 life to a fighter. So it's a very versatile card that is going to be pretty good. Oh, look at this flash mob too. 2-cost spell card. All of your fighters are immune to binding until the start of your next turn.
You really like that.
I'm going to run like 4 copies of this in every single deck when I play Decimus here.
I only have 1 bind deck.
I don't care. You've made a no-no with bind, so draw a card for each fighter you have in play. So this could be good if you're running the Ephraith deck and you have a few fighters in play, kind of
not including tokens.
Right.
This would be good for a friend and frenemy deck.
Yeah, draw each card for each fighter you have in play.
Frenemy is your fighter technically.
Yes. Now, the only thing you would have to really be careful of is Towerfall.
Yeah.
Because that could come back to hurt you.
That's where the nopes come in handy.
I mean, like, good man. There's so many good cards here, but kind of want to keep going a little bit.
I like Show Off. I think this is a very neat and fun card. Each player chooses a fighter from their hand and reveals it simultaneously. The highest cost fighter of the 2 is summoned, regardless of evolution. And then cards with Gamatron in their name cannot be selected.
So you essentially want this if you have something like Grot Bloom or
Colossus. Or Colossus or Lilith or Afrith, maybe.
Well, Afrith is a 7 cost. So you run the risk, unless it's early on. If it's like turn 5 and you have this and you really think that your opponent doesn't have any like evolution cards in their hand, this would be really good. Or it's kind of like a sealed win for you if you have Colossus or something in your hand like that. Grot Bloom, where only 1 or 2 cards can beat it. We did get a little bit of clarification in the Discord too, that if you use Show Off, and let's say we both show Colossus, nothing happens. You wasted the spell card.
The spell is nullified by itself. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Fanny Pack, the equipment. You may deposit any amount of non-permanent mana you have into this equipment for future use. You may remove any amount of mana from this equipment to give yourself an equivalent quantity of temporary mana this turn. If equipped to your hero, it is not destroyed when your hero takes damage. So this is going to be great for Brecken because you can slap this onto Brecken. You can Brecken every turn if you desire, and any extra mana goes right into that nice little fanny pack.
This is also going to be a very big target for any Magnafox players.
Yes.
So you just throw Magnafox in there and say, I'm gonna attach to fanny pack, and then you destroy it next turn.
Steal the mana first and then destroy it.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, you're gonna have to have some kind of counter for that if you were doing it. I don't care. True. I'm running it anyway. Unyeet. Discard 2 cards from your hand, search your void, reveal a card from there, and place it back into your hand. So it's kind of like alternate timeline, but it's a 1 cost, where alternate timeline I think is a 3 or 4 cost. So the trade-off is you have to discard 2 cards from your hand. Man, there's just so many good cards here, though. I really love them all. As we're getting to the surprises, though, this is kind of one too. Backup dancers for 4 cost. When your hero is attacked, pause the attack. Summon 2 health, 1 attack puppet tokens with taunt. Change the attack target to one of these puppet tokens. So you effectively are throwing up a defense with this.
Yeah, emergency wall.
Yeah, and then if you're running that token deck like we've been talking about, and they only take out one of these tokens, you essentially have another token that adds to your effect.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And there's mixtape.
I'm sorry. I just read the flavor text for Banana Peel. You expected someone else, but it was me, Banana.
That's a JoJo reference for anybody that doesn't know.
Oh, God. It's so funny.
It was me, Dio.
Yeah, mixtape here. So this is another unique and interesting surprise card because it has an X for the mana cost. And the whole gimmick here is pay any amount of mana to play the surprise face down. You may counter any opponent spell that costs 1 more mana than you paid for the surprise and use its effect as your own immediately. So since that Gamatron Slice, I believe, was 7 or 8 mana, you would want to pay
7 cost. Yeah.
So you would want to pay at least 6. In my opinion, you would want to pay at least 6 for that, so that if they use the Gamatron Slice on you, you can just completely like, nah, bro, give me that sword. I'm going to use it on you and hit them. Otherwise, you got to have those nopes. Okay. Yep. All right. So this is my favorite artwork in like the entire set right here. Laser Barrier. First of all, it has Valhalla in it, and it looks boss. But look at it. It's like that hyper realistic 3D art it's so good. That's it.
It's pretty good. It's
got a really good ability though too. Negate an attack. No additional fighters can attack this turn. Your opponent's cards cost 1 more mana to play for the rest of the turn. So your opponent goes to attack you with their first fighter. You laser barrier it. It negates the attack, and then they can't attack the rest of the turn. Plus, your opponent's cards will cost 1 more mana to play his turn. This is going to be a very viable and playable card.
Yes.
So there we go. Pure Chaos is the other one I can't wait for. All fighters cost their evolution level to play. So if it's a basic fighter, it costs 1 mana. If it's a stage 1 fighter, it costs 2 mana. And if it's a stage 3 fighter, or a stage 2 fighter, it costs 3 mana. So, put it this way. Baby Card Dragon costs 1 mana. Jumbo Card will cost 2 mana. Booster Box Dragon will cost 3 mana.
It says fighters with printed cost of 9 mana or above can't be summoned by this arena's effect.
Yeah.
So it caps at 8.
It caps at 8, yeah. So, oh, you know what? That might...
Booster Box Dragon is 8.
It is 8. Okay. Whew.
So
I was about to say, I might be out of luck then.
And I think a dragon is 8 also. Like 7 or 8.
That's just where I need him to be, baby. That's all I need. Man, there's just so many good cards in this whole set, but we don't want to take up like too much time. So, heroes. What's your favorite hero you're looking at so far?
Let's see here.
You only got the 5 heroes, right?
5
heroes plus Vargas, so 6.
Oh yeah, what does Vargas do? Let me see here.
Vargas is 30 life, so that's the big difference. But once during your turn, you may pay 2 mana to choose an effect. Draw 1 card, or deal 2 damage to a fighter with armor.
It's an okay effect.
I'd say that's actually pretty good.
For the decks that I have in mind, I don't, that's not really useful to me, but who knows? Maybe I'll think of something.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, if you're going to be doing the token deck thing, Neo Delios might be your
Neo
option there.
Delios is
Pay
good.
1 mana to summon a 1 health, 1 attack mech token. That's actually this is kind of like the new and improved Nakira. I'm not saying that to be a butthead, Minnow. I promise. It's just
Uh,
because it has 1 attack with the mech token too.
yeah,
So
but it doesn't have
Nakira's
taunt, so that's you
yeah.
want them to have taunt, really.
Well, if you're going to run that token deck we were talking about earlier, you don't want them to have taunt because you want to keep your tokens alive.
True. I like King Frigus. I don't know how to
Diesel,
Diesel.
King
His
Frigus
ability
Diesel.
is pretty good. Uh, Kazira Lako is also pretty decent.
Hmm. Yeah, the once during your turn you may pay 2 mana to give a fighter +1 armor. I think it's a little expensive considering you can pay the what was it 2 mana cost to give or 3 mana cost to give 1 fighter +2 armor, or the other one which was I think 4 cost to give 2 fighters +2 armor. I mean they all have their use in abilities, so
I don't really know where Fantasia Stella would fit in.
see, Zaba called me out on the live stream earlier today, which by the time this goes up is yesterday, because he really enjoys Fantasia Stella. But that's what I said too. Is like I'm not so in my style of gameplay. I don't really see a good use for that. Not saying there isn't a good use for it out there. I'm not saying that at all. I'm sure somebody's going to come out and kick my butt with Fantasia Stella. It's going to happen. I'm I'm okay with it. I just don't know how I would use it effectively. So for
Yeah.
those listening, Fantasia Stella has 35 life and the ability once during your turn, you may remove exactly 2 cards from your void from the game. If you do, draw a card from the bottom of your deck. The only thing I really could see that being useful for is if you're doing bottom draw, you have because I think there's a couple cards where you can put cards at the bottom of your deck and then you draw and then you use that ability to draw from your deck. So you're essentially creating your own luck. But the whole remove exactly 2 cards from your void from the game, I don't see how that helps that much.
I guess if you're not using the void at all, um, then that doesn't really
Yeah.
bother you. But
I see that's the kind of player I am though, is like my void is almost like a second draw pile though, So like I need my
yeah,
cards on my void.
Devante Morte, he's a pretty good hero if you're running anything with Crescendo.
Hmm.
Just because you can pay a mana to give a fighter of yours Crescendo, so you don't have to have like a fully Crescendo stacked team. You could just, give something Crescendo and then it's buffed by everything else,
Yeah. So
which is pretty good.
it's kind of like who's Engineer It?
Yeah, sort of.
So kind of like the new version of
Plus
that.
one attack token. Yeah.
I do want to say before we move on a little bit more, King Frigus Diesel, because this is probably this card in particular, the Void, is the one I want to pull the most. I want to say just the artwork is fantastic. But once during your turn, you may pay 2 mana to place a Lucky Shield on a fighter. When attacking a fighter with a Lucky Shield, that player must roll a die. If even, the attack does nothing. Lucky Shields break at the start of your next turn. So, it's placing a Lucky Shield on any fighter that your opponent has to get lucky with on a roll. Otherwise, they're immune. I don't want to say immune, but the attack does nothing to them. So,
And you can kind of oh, well, it says if it's even, it does nothing.
if even the attack does nothing. So, like,
Okay.
if I if I have King Frigga's Diesel on my team, and let's say I had my booster box dragon out, and I use the Lucky Shield on him, when you go to attack my booster box dragon, you have to roll a dice or a die. You have to roll an odd number in order for your attack to hit my booster box dragon. If you roll the die and it's even, then your attack does nothing. But that comes into play, and people might be saying that's not that useful either. This comes into play if you start giving things taunt. So if I give, or if I have a Grot Bloom out that has taunt and I give it a Lucky Shield, you're trying to overcome like a mountain at this point, because you not only have to attack the Grot Bloom because it has taunt, but now you have to roll a die and hope that you get lucky enough to break the shield and get through. Otherwise, it's game over, baby.
Yep. But that's just me. Solid ability.
Yep. And then the final card here, which actually it makes sense now why he has this final card up on here with the back turned. I honestly thought he was just trying to show off the card back, that it was going to be the same. But this is an actual card that's not been revealed. But before we get to that, the gold turnip, this is the gold card of Harmonic Surge, is turnip. It looks fantastic. Honestly, I hope it's a little bit easier to pull than the gold Lucky Frog. I kind of do, but I don't, because I want to pull one. I really, really, really want to pull one, but I also want it to be a super special card still. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want to pull one.
I'd like to pull a golden turnip at least.
Right.
I love turnip.
A little bit of gold. But this card right here, we found out today when Zabo was doing his live stream that it's not actually just showing the back. There is a secret rare card, which, let me pull that up real quick. This is as close as we got to seeing what it was. So he was opening a pack. He even made mention of it, which was kind of ironic, that he was like, watch me. He opened a booster box up, by the way, just one. And he was like, watch me pull the secret rare out of here that I'm not supposed to show anybody yet, because I can't show it if I do. And then like 5 packs later, he was like, you have got to be kidding me. He's like, I did actually pull it. And this was all we could get. He did not want to show us because he does not want anybody knowing what it is until one of us, the fans, players, collectors of the game, pulls it ourselves. He wants one of us to be the ones to spoil it. So all the more reason to buy boxes and packs and just go ham on ripping these, because there is a secret rare card that we don't know what it is yet. But
I hope it's me.
It is not you, because it looks like it has an afro. Sorry, buddy.
Well, no, that spoils it.
Oh, it's like, it's not you.
I know it's not me in the card.
It's also got green hair, but
like a Christmas tree.
The thing to notice about this card from what we've seen, if you're on the audio side and can't see it, it's a black bordered void rare style card, but it has 6 cost, which is significant because if you look at the rarity symbol, it's actually got a red star, which means it's a hero card. So let me go back to this real quick. If you see on Vargas here, he's got the red star, meaning he's a hero. So switching back to this is a hero card that has a mana cost you can put into your deck and play. We've not seen anything like this before. This is a new groundbreaking card. We've not had anything like this at all. So kind of cool. He did mention, Zaba that is, mentioned during his live stream when he pulled it and kind of revealed this little bit here, was that you put it in your deck and you could, if you pull it and pay the mana cost, swap out your hero with this hero mid-game if you have it.
I wonder, do you heal off of that since it's a new hero? Like, do you start out?
That's a fantastic question. I literally cannot answer that question or any others, because I have no information about this card whatsoever. Like, this card is so secret that only Zaba and like 2 people on his team even know about it. Other people, like Happy Bandito right here, that you see on the chat thing, he's one of the guys on Zaba's team that, if I remember correctly, said that he didn't even know what the card was. Like, that's how super secret this card is. So that's pretty sweet. I'm going to assume it's a VMart art because VMart in the Nostalgix Discord said something about knowing what it was. So I'm like, well, you have to, if you know, it's because you made the art. It has to be.
Yeah.
And VMart is, all the artists in this TCG are fantastic, but VMart is my favorite. So I know it's a good art. But
He makes some
I
pretty
can't
good.
wait to see what it is. I really hope that my booster box that I opened first has it, and I can spoil it for everybody. It's kind of a race. Like, there's a bunch of us that are all sitting here going, "Oh my god! Like, can we be the first ones to pull it?" Even in the Discord, there's tons of people talking about like, "I hope we're the ones to pull it."
Yep.
So, get your boxes in if you haven't gotten them. There's a secret rare card that nobody knows about yet.
All the more
Very
reason
super
for us to
limited.
bring him to the wedding Friday.
Seriously, I might do it anyway. Even if we get the boxes on time, I might bring some.
I honestly, I think I'm gonna bring a box regardless.
Yeah, we might have to. We might have to. But
Just
that's the
see,
super secret rare card. We just wanted to talk about that a little bit. I don't want to talk too much just because I know we're like a little over the hour point here. The Nostalgix online tournaments. We've had 2 of them now so far. You've
Yes.
participated in both. I
I have.
participated in the first one, and then I kind of ran the second one. But what are your thoughts on the tournament as just a fan of Nostalgix as a whole, and also as a player?
I personally enjoy them quite a bit. They both of them have just been like single round eliminations.
Webcam tournaments too, by the way.
Webcam tournaments, yes, not online. Like what is it? Tabletop
Tabletop
simulator?
simulator.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
not that.
So it's not like there's no client for it yet, and we're not using tabletop simulator yet for online gameplay, but webcam, so everybody gets to use their physical cards.
Yeah. So we have different gameplay rooms. So when the roster is notified to us, then we go into said chat room and battle out with our opponent, and then if you win, you win. You lose, you lose. You play all 3 rounds regardless. Minnow has been undefeated twice now.
Yeah, he
He's
is 6-0
he's 6-0
through
in the
2
games,
tournaments.
and I've had to face him on round 3 both tournaments.
No, I think
So
you fought him round 1 on the first tournament.
did
You
I?
fought me round 3 on the first tournament.
I just remember losing on both of us.
Yeah, we tag teamed clapping your cheeks pretty hard there because he opened it up clapping your cheeks, and I closed it clapping your cheeks.
Yeah, I just I ran out of draws. I think towards the end, I couldn't get nothing going.
I will say though, I watched. I mean, being the like the judge and the host of the tournament for this last one, I watched all the games. I would jump in for like 5 minutes at a time for each game. Watching your decks, you actually had pretty good deck. Like the second, you're even though the first tournament your deck wasn't really that bad, but during the second tournament you had you obviously ran a similar deck to something I had made and what Jonesy had made because they're
It's
very
actually,
effective.
it's actually a combination of 2 of your decks.
Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, because you had the booster box dragon line, right?
I
So
had
that's
the
kinda what you were
Booster
going
Box
for.
Dragon line and the Chrono Krios line,
Yeah.
and then I
I mean,
used
listen, it
Brecken
was
instead
was
of.
a good deck. Like you had good strategy with it too. I think if you just make some tweaks to it and you bring it back, you'll probably kick Minnow's butt.
Yeah,
I really
I
think you
was
can.
not getting. I just didn't draw any like cuckoos or baby card dragons at the start. I kept getting the
Lucky.
middle forms of everything, and I was like, man, this is so unlucky.
Maybe you should throw in a couple of lucky frogs in there just to boost it.
Something.
Or maybe your luck is just all going towards the big polls coming this weekend.
Maybe, hopefully. I
I'm
need some
hoping
kind of win.
I'm hoping between the two of us, one of us pulls the secret rare and one of us pulls the gold card. And hopefully it's not the same person pulling both. Unless it's me, then it's okay.
No. I'll rob you of one. Oh, you won't know which one though.
So, well, good luck. Good luck. I've got some trusty weapons right next to me that would make it very difficult for you to steal things. But for the Nostalgix tournaments, obviously we're gonna continue doing them on a weekly basis. Would you prefer to do like as a player, since you've done one free tournament and one paid tournament now, do you prefer doing the free tournaments and not getting prizes at all? Or would you prefer paying your $10 or whatever the entry fee ends up being to get a certain number of prizes based on where you place?
Um, well, I think that depends for each player, you know. Personally, I would rather get prizes if I want to just, play for fun, for free or no whatever. I can just ask someone, "Hey, anyone want to challenge me?"
Yeah.
Or can I challenge anyone? And then just do it that way. But if I'm gonna play, competitively against people, then I want to try and get something out of it.
Now, what if we do, because an idea has been floating around, and something I said that I would like to run for the Nostalgix is doing themed tournaments, but free, because I'm not going to make people pay for, like a themed fun deck versus competitive deck. But if we do, would you rather do like every other week we do paid to free tournaments, but then make the free tournaments like themed specifically towards something, or do like one week we might do frogs only decks, or fox only decks, or maybe we do something where it's like everybody has to have the same hero type of deck? Would you prefer doing something like that than if it's a free tournament?
I mean that sounds fun. Theme decks are always fun. I've been a fan of making theme decks. Uh,
we've got we've actually got
if
some
you can't
gameplay on my
tell.
channel of Decimus and I going back and forth on some games with some fun decks.
Yes, I made my binding theme deck, which gives Ren PTSD. Uh,
Yeah, no, I hate bind.
that's actually fun fact. That's the deck I used in the first tournament was my bind deck.
And I'm glad that I was able to stomp you with it.
Whatever. It
I shared
it was
no
just for
mercy
fun.
to you just because you used that deck, and I hate it.
I mean, I have my I call it my Gambler's Gambit. It's a pigment
That's a fun
deck.
deck.
I have soul jar dice in there and stuff. So lots of dice rolling for damage. It's pretty
Soul Jar
fun.
Dice is one of my favorite cards, by the way.
Yeah, it's a fun spell.
It is, dude. That card has saved me more than a few times in gameplay. So, I mean, it's been pretty good. But anything else you want to say about the online tournaments before we kind of wrap it up a little bit?
Uh, Not really. If you guys want to, play, we do them on the Discord. The whoever is hosting it will announce, like dates and times, if it's free, if it's paid, what the prizes are, stuff like that. I think the Trazia had a special prize of like custom Fox tokens for the first place winner.
It was custom tokens. I think
Oh
he was
yeah, custom
designing for
tokens.
whoever
He,
won it, who ended up winning. He
I
would
think
design
he
like tokens for.
he showed a picture, and I think they were Fox tokens. Was like the
Mhm.
sample. So that's probably why I got confused. But Yeah, so he made custom tokens for the winner that last time around. So there's probably going to be more, fun little prizes that we can enjoy.
Yeah.
So sign up.
Yeah, seriously, join the Nostalgix Discord. The games are so much fun, and we've got a good spread of decks too. Like, I don't think anybody played the same two style of decks in any tournament so far. So, well, I guess maybe Jonesy
Except
and I
Minnow.
had a. Well, I'm saying like at the same time, nobody had
Oh,
like
like
similar
against each
decks. Like
other.
there was a good spread of and variety of decks being played, and the more people we get, the better they end up being. We're talking about experimenting with doing like a week long tournament where it's like a best of 3 series instead of a single game.
Yep.
And also you have a couple days to play each round. So like round 1 would be like Monday and Tuesday. You report back who won the whole series, and then Wednesday, Thursday would be round 2, and then Friday, Saturday be round 3. And I don't know, maybe do like a championship game on Sunday or something. But
Yep.
if that's interest to anybody, make sure you join the Nostalgix TCG Discord and sign up for those tournaments. We'd love to have you there.
Yes.
But I think it's time, mi Bruda, for the
Me
card
Buddha.
pick of the week. So last week, I kind of gave some I thought they were very vague hints. I didn't want to make it too easy, but I didn't want to make it too hard either. And only one person guessed it correctly. And what was it that you said you thought it was?
Chrono Krios.
Chrono Krios. So the card pick from last week. Actually, let me make myself bigger here. How do I?
Oh, I zoomed in.
Let me do. None of these
There
are
we
like
go.
the ones I want. Oh, there it is. This is kind of the one I want. I guess you know what I could do? Could just hide you on the stream. So here's the card that was described last week. So the card pick for this week is Chrono Krios. So, oh no, I can't hear you.
Oh,
Are you there?
yes.
Oh, there we go. I couldn't hear you for a second.
You hit
So,
me.
Chrono Krios is the card pick. Decimus
I'm
here
so
was the
smart.
only one to guess it. It's just because you know me.
True. I had some insider knowledge.
I mean, I wouldn't.
But
Well, I mean, I guess because you know me, but for next week, since we always kind of show a little bit of what's coming up next week, I had our special guest here pick out a card, and he is going to give a couple hints as to what it may be. I don't even know what this card is. He literally picked it right before we started recording, and he did not communicate what it was, so I have no idea what it is. I only told him it can't be a card that we've already picked, which there's only been 3 at this point picked, so it's got a wide open field. So go ahead and give us like 2 or 3 clues as to what it could be.
how vague would you like these?
This is up to you, man.
Okay. Let's see. Its body glows white.
Its body glows white. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And I don't know what else can I say without giving it away. It has no resistance.
No resistance. Okay. So its body glows white. It has no resistance. Now, can you tell us if it's like a secret shards? You don't have to say if it's secret shards. You don't have to say which secret shards. Just
It is base set first edition.
okay. There we go. So there's your 3 clues. Make sure if you're on the YouTube side, put your comments down below what you think it is. I don't know. I keep saying that like I might do a prize for somebody that gets it, but We'll see. We'll see. We got to get a lot of people guessing though, you know.
Yeah.
But if you have a guess or a pick, let us know down below so you can. We want to see who's right. You know, it's fun. It's a fun little game. So
I want to see
I
how
like I said,
clever
I
you
don't even
guys
know.
are.
I don't even know what it is, but to wrap things up, the very end here, we also have, as you guys have seen from the last 2 episodes, the pack of the week, and I have a pack as well as ProDecimus. So, Desi, would you like to do the honors?
I can. I will.
I figured out how to make you big and not mute me. So
My pack art is you can't really see it. It's the Venomusa though.
Venomusa Void.
So here we go. 3 to the front. We've got Stack of Fox, Proving Grounds, Pestilence, Shellstorm. Oops. Kind of trying to get the glare off. Lunch Break. Payoff. Level Playing Field. Verox. Spookula. And we have a Marajor.
Marajor is the non-foil rare. All right. Well,
Yep.
it's going to be the first ever pack battle on this podcast. So,
Man,
see
I'm
if I-
losing.
let's see if I can beat you. I don't know. I might not pull anything either. I do have a Day Zero booster pack here. This was actually one of the packs that Trazia sent me for participating in the very first online tournament. And I've just been saving all my packs to do on this podcast. So, all right. Let's see. I got to like reach over my thing here. There we go. Plundrak. Gorgodot. Mob Arena. Biceptus Blast. Squirrel of Distraction. Rowlet. There you go, Minnow. Game Show. Aegisect. There's one of the good ones right there. Payoff. I thought that was the rare card, and it totally wasn't. Ooh, Tacoon holographic with the
Very
Day
nice.
Zero stamp. Not bad. Not bad.
Very
I don't
nice.
think it actually, this really doesn't have those indentations at the bottom either. This could be a really good one to grade, but Tacoon, ladies and gentlemen, holographic is what we pulled here. So very, very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out with us, joining us in this episode.
Yes.
Let us know what you think. Comments what you think down below if you're on the YouTube side. If you are on the audio side, whether it's Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, wherever it is, let us know in terms of reviews or give us a rating. I think you can even comment on specific episodes now too. Let us know what you think. But
Yes.
I don't know. Hopefully you enjoyed being on the podcast, good sir. I'm probably going to have you on again in the near future. Would like to have other people on as well to talk about their experiences with Nostalgix and gameplay. But that is all we have, players and collectors. Thank you once again for hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast episode next week. Happy Harmonic Surge, everybody.
Happy Harmonic Surge indeed.
Peace.
Later.